going down a mountain, unless I'm not very smart. But what do you see, like, is the future? How do you see social media fitting into companies that aren't tech-oriented? Because
extreme sports like that are going to have more pickup in video and a little bit less in blogging. So there's plenty of extreme sports types of blogs out there. You can find a lot of professional athletes have their own blogs that you can go up and comment on.
we're working on it. Right now for Twitter, it's like,
It's not appropriate for you, I don't think.
No, I found a girl, I was like, hey, we're planning a ski trip. She's out of New York. She's got like, here's the thing, like if you get one, they have networks of people who are not on Twitter. She knows like 12 snowboarders, so I'm like,
I think that you're going to find lower hanging fruit though. So like if you're looking at high school students going on a ski trip vacation, then hit up Facebook or hit up Bebo. So and that's kind of that's part of the, you have to take a hard look at what you're trying to market on the web, because Twitter's everywhere and everybody's got to be on Twitter, but if it's not going to bring you the results, then you're spinning your wheels. And sorry, but MySpace, is still the number 1, number 2 social network out there, and it's so uncool, but there's a lot of people using it. So, I would, if I was you, for trying to sell skis and things like that.
I've been hitting Vegas.
Yeah, and so I think that's going the right direction. And look for when you're commenting on blogs, I take a softer approach. I wouldn't get up there and say, hey, come and look at our stuff. I would comment on the content of the blog post and simply have the URL back to your client inside your signature and just leave that at that. Because that's a big point. I mean, and that's hard for a lot of people to do when people want to get out there and start being a carnival barker and pushing their stuff online. And that's going to get you the exact opposite of what you're going to get. It's going to create bad vibes in the community because you're out there spamming people. Go out there and add value, contribute to the conversation, and then if you're adding value and you become a member that people look up to and respect, they're naturally going to look at what you do. I don't do anything in the world. I go out and I help people, but there's nothing about me that adds value to anybody other than if you need help and I know I'll answer it for you. And I think that it's definitely a soft approach, and that's why if you can establish an identity that people already respect you, and then you come across those happy accidents when you stumble across a journalist or somebody like that, what happens is it starts snowballing on you, because the second you get written up and wired, then the attention that comes onto your brand just explodes, and then other journalists will look at what you're doing too.
Have there's me, right? There's Suninsky, which is a logo. And I'll just send. I try to be very non-invasive. So someone's at work, they don't want to hear.
You know what you need to do? Go and find somebody that is absolutely not technical, that likes to ski, because I mean, and this is something that's, that's something that's hard to do. I mean, that's whenever we do, with Vusi, that CBS 11 piece was huge for us. Because, I look at, if you're trying to sell stuff, my wife as an example, I've been in the web for over a decade and she still can't tell anybody what I do for a living. She reads blogs. She doesn't get on Twitter. She knows that I'm on that Twitter thing. She's not like some old fogey. We're a bunch of nerds to her. But she reads Deuce, she reads Amelia, she reads all these different, suburban mom type blogs, and she eats them up. And guess what? She spends 99.5% of the money that I make. She controls the purse. The money I spend is cheeseburgers and Diet Cokes, and that's it. And she spends everything else. So if you're trying to sell skis, you need to, it's hard to do. You got to get out of your comfort zone and look at where those people are going to be at.
I'm doing things I think it was just out of frustration. I'm like, no, I'm going to tell these, the other guy on the account was just adding. And I was like, no, you screw up the ratio. I don't know if you're on Twitter, but you screw up the ratio, and if you follow too many people.
Everyone knows you add and then you subtract the people that didn't add back.
I started subtracting, but I try to bring attention with my own Twitter feed, which has more followers.
You've got a very nice ratio.
Thank you.
You've got about two-thirds.
I'm not getting anything. Somebody is going to want to see the work.
URLs inside the. Okay, but the challenge with that is that you run the risk of becoming boring to people because you're trying to push a message.
That's what I only do. I tweet literally like 3 times a day, and it's usually like a blog post or something. But like, I just gave up, and I was like, seriously, today I went to Pure Austin, and I was like, look at where all the fit people go who actually would ski.
Well, I think that for what you're doing, I don't think Twitter's the best platform. You need to be hitting up Facebook, Bebo. You need to go out to video sharing sites where they have videos of people doing extreme skiing stuff and start commenting on those places. Because, and especially on Flickr, one nice thing about Flickr and YouTube is you can embed URLs inside those comments. And they're no follow, but on Viewsy, Flickr is in the top 25 of our referrers because I take pictures like crazy at events. And like I went to Gnomedex, I posted 700 pictures from Gnomedex, and every one of them had a link back to in my signature, and it wasn't, hey, come look at Viewsy, it was simply a link. So if someone liked the picture, the next logical action for them to take is to find out more about me, and the only path I give them is to our homepage. And so, you know, photo sharing sites, video sharing sites are going to be rich for you, and then blogs, I would think.
I just really like whenever when I do stuff, I'm like, I want to provide value, right? Because I hate being bugged at work, you know, and like I'm a big tennis fan. For me to want to watch a tennis video, it's got to be like freaking fantastic. It's working, right? So I think that's a challenge.
Don't think so hard about providing value, though. I mean, just get out there and communicate. I mean, and that's the trap you run into, because if you get focused on, I've got to get out there right and follow, but on Viewsy is in the top 25 of our referrers because I take pictures like crazy at events. Never had a link back to in my look at Viewsy, so logical page, and so you know each.
Like whenever when I do provide value, right? Because you know, and you want to watch a tennis video, it's got to be like freaking fantastic. It's working, right? So I think that's a challenge.
Don't think so hard about providing value, though. I mean, just get out there and communicate. I mean, and that's the trap you run into, because if you get focused on, I've got to get out there and do this right, you lose any potential of getting out there and being raw and honest and being a human being that people can actually connect with. And at the end of the day, this is no different than us going to a cocktail party and saying, hey, how you doing? I'm Giovanni. Good to meet you. What do you do? Not, hey, how you doing? I work for a visual search engine. What do you do? Completely different approach. So,
I mean, when I finally got to the set of ski where I was like, okay, if I'm going to tweet something, I'm tweeting as me, and because it just feels weird. Like, I did a video, I didn't put it up, but I mean, it just feels like you're just handing someone a coupon. Like, would you just go to somebody at work and here's a coupon? Like, that's not do that.
you can't do that. You need to do stuff to make them interested in you, because you'll have the same media person for a law firm, because I don't know law. I can talk tech and I can talk design, and that's where I probably will always live my life. You know, as far as
It's hard.
get real.